So, this one here. There I am. Convent. Those are convent days.
You were in the convent for like a year, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
That's your mom?
Yep.
Here's Grandma playing accordion.
Yeah. Whose dog is that?
That's our old Shep. We had it
You hated
on the
dogs.
farm. Well, it wasn't mine. It was on the farm.
Here's outdoor dog.
There's my school.
That's Langley. Or no, this is Langley over here.
These are like
Yeah, it's still there, isn't it?
Yeah, that's right.
just Dorothy back there. She was a teacher.
Really?
She was Grandma's teacher. She taught Grandma in grade 12 or whatever,
I
right?
remember.
So not grade 12, grade 6 or 7 or
Elementary,
something.
yeah. Right.
She's that much older than you?
10 years.
What? She's 10 years older than you?
There's me there.
That's Grandma's sister, right?
And Barbara. Now we
You
get
want to see a hunk? This.
Smoochy, smoochy.
Kissy, kissy.
Look at you guys. This is when you first started dating, or
Oh, look, here's the fawns.
Danny Carson.
Uh-huh.
See y'all who are still dressed alike.
That's so funny.
We weren't even twins.
In fact,
Who's all these people?
that's us. My family picture.
Oh, okay.
That was in about 1950.
When did you start playing the saxophone?
When he was 18.
No, I'm younger than that. I was
Really?
about 1954.
He used to play, he used to play
16.
hooky. So told his mom was going to school, went over to his sister's house and
Was he 15 or
Practice the
16 when I
saxophone.
started? That's right.
That's funny.
instead of going to school.
Yeah.
You look
Yeah.
short there.
Yeah, well, it's Uncle Alf.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah,
Go
that's
back to show my mama. Oh, what ain't my dad? I don't know where my dad's picture. There's my mom.
Yeah, right. Yeah, is that,
I haven't got any of dad. I know he's.
you have some, but
I have, but I have no idea where they
they
are.
are, yeah.
How old were you when your dad died?
Mm. 14 maybe?
Oh, really young.
Yeah, I think so.
Because I didn't meet him.
Yeah.
He was already
Did your mom remarry?
No.
It's your mom! And that's Grandpa's mom, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that. Oh, look. Grandpa's mom and dad.
Didn't that look elegant?
Yeah. Little poopy
Was
stick.
this was on our honeymoon, wasn't it?
What was this?
Yeah. No, this is in the first suite we lived in.
Oh, right, okay,
Yes.
okay.
Look at you. You look like Uncle Brandon.
Mm-hmm.
What was this? What were you dressed up for?
For one of his sister's wedding.
Oh, cool. Big dorky grin.
You don't know what I was looking at.
Do you want to? Who's graduating from what
Yeah,
grade?
it's a convent, right? Grade 12 convent.
That's so funny. Like, you just go to school in convents?
Oh, it lasted a year.
Did they kick you out?
She kicked
I
herself.
tried hard.
Were you training to be a nun if you go to school at a convent?
No, just we going. Farm friends. Here's a picture of our pet goat.
That's so funny that you grew up on a farm, Grandma.
Yep.
You're so like
You never know it, would
a
you?
city girl now.
You'd never know it. No, that's
It's
it from that one.
it's an old band of ours.
What was it called?
Rhythm Airs.
Stuck with the same names throughout your life?
No, it's Rhythm Airs.
Yeah.
Look at
Did
Grandma.
you have classes when you were little too?
I should have actually had them a lot sooner.
See here at Uncle Joe's wedding, we're dressed the same again.
That is so
You
funny.
got on you? Somebody's gonna look classy, I guess.
That's your mom and your Aunt Barbara?
Yep.
How did you know that?
Did you need any wedding pictures of us? Here's a nice one.
Oh yeah, that's a nice one. Sure. Did you know you have to renew your subway card soon because they're not doing them anymore?
Sorry?
This is true.
Corwin.
Yeah.
So yesterday,
Oh, yeah.
okay,
Oh. Well, here's a whole bunch one.
look at what.
I don't know, who's it?
Here, let's see.
Mom?
Yeah.
Where are you going here, Karen?
She's so
Want to see a
cute.
kitty? Oh, look at that.
Douglas.
Sorry.
Here's Grandpa.
Did they make that color?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right, yeah. Space Boy.
Can you say action, please? We should have read those things over first, your questions.
The question? You guys can chill out. You don't have to.
Okay.
You can look at me, you can look at him, do whatever you want. Okay, so first question is what's your deepest, darkest secret? Just kidding.
Come here and I'll whisper it to you.
You're kidding, of course.
Where were you born?
In
Ladies
Humboldt.
first.
Humboldt, Saskatchewan.
Brother, Saskatchewan.
Yeah.
Okay.
You were in Humboldt?
Humboldt, yeah. Humboldt Hospital, yeah.
Were you born in a hospital?
No, I don't think so. I really, that's serious.
No, I don't think it was.
No, no. I think it just most likely it was just a nurse that delivered me.
Yeah.
Wasn't even the doctor.
Good job, man.
Okay. And then, what are some of your first memories from childhood?
Oh, geez, I don't know. I don't remember too many of my childhood.
I just remember this being among the animals and the winter months, you know, digging holes in snowbanks and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And it actually basically was pretty cold winters, a lot colder than it is nowadays. And more snow.
Yeah.
Yeah, we did a lot of that. Playing outside in the moonlight. Chasing around in the snowbanks and building. They had lots of fun those days. Nowadays they have expensive snow toys to play. But we just had a big hunk of cardboard and stuff on all those nice big snowbanks. Colder than, you know, but it was fun. We dressed up warm and
Okay, so talk about your family. You guys both come from super huge families, which I think is something that most people don't have nowadays. What was it like?
family of 12. My oldest brother died when he was 8. Never got to know him. And I was the second youngest of the bunch, and I was spoiled pretty badly.
And I was from a family of 11, and I was the second youngest, and I wasn't spoiled. So actually I always had someone to play with or whatever, because I had 6 brothers and 4 sisters, so it was a lot to do.
What about, like, Mom was saying something one time about that, she was talking about you, Grandma, that you basically had, like, 2 moms. Like, you had your mom, and then you had your one of your older sisters would be assigned to one of the younger ones.
Auntie Madeline was my second mom. She named me, she spoiled me, and I think I'm still her baby. Even now yet, I'm still her baby sister.
Cute. Grandpa? Were a lot of the kids out of... Were a lot of the kids out of the family when you were...
Lorraine, I suppose, yeah.
Well, actually my older sister was
Yeah, she
very,
was-
very close to her.
Yeah.
Her special brother too, I think. She did spell it.
I told you this was gonna deepest, darkest secrets. Okay, so this is Kimmy's question. It's a pretty good one. What was a typical day like when you were a kid growing up?
When? How old?
I don't know.
10.
10.
During the school term?
Well, let me see, we walked 3 miles to school uphill both ways.
And your
To
grandpa's
school
pajamas.
In what?
Your grandpa's pajamas.
3 miles both ways. Uphill both ways. That's about it. I didn't do too many chores. Of course, I didn't do all of them. I didn't have to. The bigger people did them.
That's right.
That's about it.
So that's the advantage of being a younger kid. You don't have to do as much.
You did do chores with your grandpa?
Split wood.
Yeah.
That was one of my chores.
I didn't.
So that was fun.
I didn't know how to milk a cow. Didn't do it very often, but I didn't know how.
And in summer months, during the school term, we walked to school. In the winter months, we rode in what you call the caboose.
Yeah, we did that too.
Did you just leave your horses at the school?
That's right, yeah, they had a barn. They had a barn there. So the oldest brother would unhitch it and put it in the barn, and they supplied feed to the person at the school. They had to hitch it up. Take it back home. That's right, it was neat. I enjoyed that.
How many people, like, where did you go to school? How many people went to
Through
school?
the school, maybe 34, in one room school closer.
Yeah.
Grade 1 to sometimes grade 9 or maybe grade 10.
And not many people went past that? No, nobody did. Did they even have university?
They did, well,
Did
they
you?
didn't Townsend.
Okay,
In Townsend, they did.
cool. Like, Grandma, you went to a bunch of different schools.
Oh, piles of them. Golden Acre, Lucasville, Cranish Lake, Langley, and the Boone Convent.
Huh.
5.
Why did you move around so much when you were in high school?
I don't know. For Langley, Mom and Lorraine and I moved there. We lived with Margaret for a while. And Mom worked in a restaurant in Langley for a while, and Lorraine and I went to school. I went to the junior high, and Lorraine went to Otter, I think, with Danny and Tommy for a while.
That's so funny. She went to school with her
Yeah.
nephews.
We weren't there very long. Not much more than a year, I think. We came to the convent. And after that, was it?
Was your sister at the convent?
Mhm.
No.
No, she was in the convent in Portland.
Oh, okay.
When I was in, before I went to the convent, she was,
But your younger sister went to the convent.
Lorraine
too.
went there, and Dorothy was there for 4 years. I went for 1 year, Lorraine went for 2 years.
Did they, when you were in school, did they teach you funny things like how to be a good wife or like anything weird like that? Or was it all like normal schooling?
Not in the convent.
No.
They wanted you to be a nun, they didn't want you to get
Oh
married.
yes.
You were discouraged to talk about boys and think about boys. We weren't even allowed to sit on the fence and watch boys walk by in town. That was, oh boy, that was trouble.
You know what happened with you, Grandma?
See that? Hey. That's what happened here.
Okay, anyway, so we can move on to that. So Grandma,
Not
tell the
that
story about how you met Grandpa.
How I met, that's another bad story. If any of my girls would have ever done that, they'd be in the convent now. I was working at St. Paul's Hospital with Eileen, his older sister, and she arranged a blind date. She was supposed to go too, but the last minute she canceled out, and I went with Grandpa. Yeah, so I went to a drive-in movie, no less.
You went on, but just wait, you went on a blind date with 5 guys?
5 strangers. There were 2 other couples.
Oh, okay.
But they're all strangers. I've never met any of them in my life before, not even him.
Did they know each other?
Oh yeah.
Oh, yes, one was my brother. And his name, and I can't remember who's the other couple.
Alvin and Pat.
Oh,
Albert, yeah.
my first cousin.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's what it was, that's right.
Yeah, but Eileen was supposed to go, and then she chickened out, otherwise. But anyway,
Did you know she chickened out before it happened?
no, the night she says she couldn't go. But you'll be all right with Ralph, he's a nice guy, my little brother. Wow. But anyway, if your mom would have tried something like that, like I said, she'd still be in the convent.
Just think of the chances I was taking. Stranger. I didn't know what to expect either.
Young people at least.
Well, I know, but I didn't know what you would look like. Actually, I thought she was cute.
You better have.
I thought I really lucked out.
You're like, all right.
Hey,
What
this
do
is all right.
you guys remember exactly what you thought when you first saw each other?
I do.
Yeah.
I thought she was cute.
Grandma, I don't remember.
I know he kissed me a couple times in the car.
On the first date?
Yeah. Wild, eh?
Mover. What a waste time.
But when he picked me up at I was living in Auntie Catherine's, he came to the door and opened the car door for me, and again the same thing when he dropped me off.
After necking with you.
He was a perfect gentleman.
And I did kiss her goodnight too.
Wow, what did you guys do? You went?
We went to see a movie called Bernadine by Pat Boone.
And
It was a good movie.
did you guys talk? On the date?
I think so, but she was pretty shy.
Yeah.
I don't know, I probably didn't talk much. I
She
still
didn't talk
don't
much
talk.
because she was, well, we were all strangers to her. So I don't think she said too much. But the rest is history.
The rest of history. How long did you guys go out for before you were engaged?
Okay, our first date was on August the 21st, 1957. The only reason we just looked it up.
We just read.
I knew it was either July or August of 57. But I didn't know the exact date, but she had it in her mind. And anyway, I think we got married, engaged, I should say, following summer. Right?
So for a year.
Well, it didn't mostly in your book, isn't it?
That's probably the book, yes.
The wedding book?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then, of course, we got married the following November 58.
Okay, so
November
you were
15th.
engaged for like a year?
No,
No, for like 3 months.
We got engaged in about, I would say May or June or something like that. Then we married in November 58.
Cool.
Mhm.
You had Molly already. How old were you guys when you got married?
I was 19.
And I was 20.
Okay.
And I had to get permission I had to get my parents' signature
Oh yeah.
to get married. At that time, you couldn't just get married on your own. If you're living at home, that is it.
Okay.
You had to get your parents' consent.
So your parents, all your parents approved?
Well, she didn't.
I did. I was living on my own.
She
So I
didn't,
didn't.
Okay.
but I was still living at home, so I had to get my parents' consent. Because I was 21.
Yeah. What did all your family think it was good? You guys getting married? Did you have any?
Well, I think mom and dad wanted us to wait the following year because there was had been 3 weddings in 1958.
In your family?
That's right. Right, yeah. So we were the fourth. We were the fourth wedding in 1958. Yeah.
That's a busy year.
But I couldn't wait.
You didn't have to get married either.
No. They can figure that out.
Okay. So, what was your wedding like? Were you nervous? Were there any problems? Anything you remember specifically about it?
We had a car accident on the way to the church. Was it after?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, okay. Well, it was a big storm anyway all day. So after the church, we got married on the way back to his mom's house for brunch. We were in a car accident, somebody ran into us.
cut in front of us, and
Yeah.
the roads were slippery, and our driver couldn't stop, so he smacked him. So we had to transfer cars. This car was mobile, I guess, for a while, and so we had another car.
Cute. How'd you feel about that? Did you cry, Grandma?
No, I was a little shaky.
Yeah. Wow.
But anyway, we had our first landlords were Russian. We were old Russian in night school. And they said, you have an accident on your wedding day, you have a good, happy wedding.
And,
A
storm,
happy marriage.
and stormy weather.
Yeah, stormy wedding, yeah.
Yeah, that's it.
You have a happy marriage then, so.
That works.
I guess it works.
Were weddings, or weddings basically like the same as traditional weddings are now? It's
Well,
Well,
we had a mass.
yeah.
yeah.
Well, some weddings don't have masses, but
Yeah.
we did have a mass. I don't know, I was a bit nervous at the ceremony itself, weren't you?
I must have been. I don't remember.
Because you're up in front and everybody,
Yeah.
spotlight is on you, so I was a bit nervous, but priest kind of, said, oh, you do fine, relax.
Did you have vows? Like, or?
Oh, yeah.
Just
Yeah.
the traditional.
But traditional
yeah.
ones, yeah, they picked it for you.
Cool. And you had bridesmaids and groomsmen and
Two each.
Huh?
Lorraine and his sister Charlotte, and Jerry and who else?
Lorraine's the sister you dress alike?
Yeah.
Just like, you got to dress different on one day.
Yeah, different color, yeah.
We did.
That's funny.
How many guests were you?
Oh, yeah.
I don't know, 100 maybe? That many?
Well, I think so.
Yeah, I would think so.
That's the end of the questions now.
Good,
Just
that's
answer.
good, that's good.
So, then you started having kids right away. What were you doing, Grandpa? When did you start working at your job at the university?
Actually, I started I started there in May, May the 12th, 1958, and of course we got married in November. So I only had been working there for 2 months, from May to November.
Huh.
So, and as it turned out, I worked there for 35 years. But, I didn't have to change jobs. So.
Chef new pencils? And Grandma?
A lot of pencils.
Yeah.
And Grandma, you just stayed at home?
No, I worked at St. Paul's Hospital for about a year and a half after we were married.
What
Oh,
were you?
no,
No.
no, 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 no.
No,
No,
I worked there a year and a half altogether.
altogether, that's right.
I got, as soon as I got pregnant, then I quit working. Because I was sick.
Oh, did
Your
you get
mommy
sick?
made me sick. And then I didn't work again till I started the co-op when Brian was.
Going to start school, yeah.
I was a stay-at-home mom.
That was quite common back then.
Yeah.
Most women stayed home, raised the kids.
I think they didn't house as much as they do now.
And of course, I think back then we had a lot less to it. We usually rented or, and people when they did start, they bought smaller houses and they gradually worked their way on to bigger and better. But no, you didn't have much money back then.
Yeah. And where did you guys always lived in Saskatoon?
Well, no.
Since
I
we're
moved-
married.
I was 10 when I moved to Saskatoon.
Yeah.
Been there ever since.
Well, with your mom, when I first found out I was expecting, it was when we were in church Sunday morning, right in the very front pew, and I fainted.
Right, and I was in an awkward position. I couldn't really
I said,
maneuver. So the usher came and carried her out.
I leaned over and I said, I think I'm gonna faint. Oh, and I went,
Actually, the usher carried her out to the back of the hall. Well, actually, it was in the church basement. Was that really?
no, it was in St. Mary's, right? Yeah, we were sitting close up
Oh,
to,
okay.
almost in the front,
Because I know,
right up front.
because I know in St. Mary's, if there was an overflow, they went over to the church basement.
Yeah.
So, chairs. So I thought, that's what I thought about, maybe we should.
Yeah.
Good church. I'm surprised I was even embarrassed. He was stronger.
You know what the parties I used to have?
Mom and Uncle Al.
After a fact, we did, yeah. We suspected a lot of time.
Your mom should be here telling the
She's
story.
telling the story. Yeah.
Yeah, it's been an awful lot. I spent an awful lot of time at the hockey rink, because I had 3 boys playing hockey, and including myself. So the winters just flew by. And that's more than that, because there was hockey every day.
Mhm.
Of course, I look forward to it. I was all excited. Could hardly wait till everything.
Was it loud playing when you played outdoor rinks?
That's right.
Oh boy, it got cold, so it was cold. Outside.
And even like,
Don't do it.
yeah.
Well, they all did cute and funny things, but I can't remember which. I remember we were out camping one time fishing, and Doug fell down and knocked himself silly. He was
And that's a concussion.
concussion, he was delirious for. I spent overnight with him in the hospital until he figured out where he was. That was scary.
Yeah, that.
And then Brian rammed into the boards at a hockey game, and we had to rush him to the hospital by ambulance.
And your mother was, and her cousin went up at Banff at the up to Hot Springs, went up the side of the mountain. He started running down, and she lost control. And she just kept running faster and faster and faster. And I was at the parking lot. I saw her coming, and I tried to catch her, and she hit my shoulder, and she flipped over, and she broke her wrist. That's right. So she had a small cast on her wrist.
Wow. So everyone.
I guess that's not very funny.
It was an experience.
What about Uncle Al? Did he have any?
Uncle Al, when he was little, got really sick on us one time. We had to rush him to the hospital and had intravenously. They called them interstitials. Then.
Really?
Yeah, they had to. Because he was really dehydrated. He was really sick. So that was twice we had to do that because he didn't get better the first time, so we took him back again.
Well.
Intravenously.
And I can remember Uncle Al first learning how to ride a bike. There was in front of New Visit Cladburn. There's a lot of trees around in the grass. And he was riding among the trees and he was giggling and so much and he didn't run into any trees. So it was funny. He was moving around the trees.
Okay. Well, the tape's done. So that's all we'll do for today.
Okay, that's good.
We both fall.
Let's do the tip. Grab her around and get the down with your water, eh?
Oh yeah, let's go. Let's get your groove on.
That's not the hop. Gavin's a crazy poker. He's sorting out really fast.
When you finish out, you try with Karen.
You're shorter than usual. Oh,
Thanks, guys.
Hey, come here.
Oh, she can't get the double.
Yeah.
He's about as cute as Grandpa.
Cheers. Got a ways to go yet.